According to President Trump and Elon Musk, there's a great travesty taking place today in South Africa. The South African government is expropriating the land. They're taking the land back from the whites and giving it back to the indigenous people. It's not a jump and grab. They have a very considerate and humane way that they're trying to right centuries of wrong. So those white South Africans that are perceived as victims are allowed to immigrate here by the Trump administration at will. In this country, the black and the brown immigrants that were literally allowed to walk across the border, and then they were strategically placed throughout this country. Now they are being rounded up and sent back to their home countries. You talk about living in a state of chaos and fear. They're even being rounded up while dropping their kids off for school. A lot of these people being pursued were monetarily allowed to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. Monetarily. Sadly, during this pursuit, they are the only ones taking the fall. The people that gave them home loans don't take a fall. The people that gave them car loans don't take a fall. The people that educated them as if they were citizens don't take a fall. The government stance is, oops, too bad, you're out of here. Oh God, what about the ones that served in the military? When you consider all of these things, shouldn't that constitute citizenship? Now, to get rid of certain groups of these people, Trump is using the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. With this act, he can deem certain foreign groups as warriors, especially the gangs, and he can immediately get them out of this country. Back to the alien immigrants of this hemisphere. My question is, aren't they owed something? These people are willing to give up their lives to come here. Aren't they owed something? Let's take a look. The Alien Enemies Act of 1798 versus the Monroe Doctrine of 1823. Just like the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, the Monroe Doctrine of 1823 is over 200 years old as well. And you can see the overwhelming power of the Monroe Doctrine today. The Monroe Doctrine is simple foreign policy, telling the powers in the East, mainly Russia and Germany back then, to stay over in the East. If you come over here to the Western Hemisphere, we would consider that an act of war. Back then, many countries would come over from the Eastern Hemisphere to different areas of the world under the auspices of crusading and missionary work. And they would come in and basically, in the backdrop, set up military posts. Now, the Monroe Doctrine was made unilaterally. The U.S. did not consult with any of the sovereign nations in this hemisphere. They were basically telling the world that this hemisphere is ours. So tell me, is there a foreign military post anywhere in this hemisphere? I don't know, guys, but this train wreck immigration always hurts my community first. And I feel like if you're gonna do something, let's do it right and let's be fair. Thank you very much.